Oh, hello everyone, welcome to another live hosted by me, Mr. Philly. We were having technical difficulties the last time. Oh, shoot. There we go.
Another Mr. Philly? Wow, very interesting. How are you? Hey, Finn, how are ya? How you been? What's up? What's new? What's cracking? How are ya? So, sorry, I hope you guys can hear me. I was having difficulties last time, and I had to end the live. But, I was really getting into a really good story last time, so I was thinking about this all day, looking back on my past and looking about my crazy dating stories and crazy embarrassing moments in my life. I just thought, hey, this would be something fun to make a live about. So that's where I'm at. So I hope can you guys hear me? Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Can you guys hear me? I hope. I just had to end the live. I had a relative that needed me at home, so that's why I ended it. So anyway, all right, guys. Well, oh shoot, shoot, shoot. There we go. Good, good. Hope you guys can hear me. Good. All right, so I'm just chilling with you guys. All right, all right. Goodbye. Hello, Ashley. How are you? Well, you're just in time. Want to stick around, hear a really fun dating story? I'd love to share it with you guys, and I'd love to hear you guys' crazy dating stories. So anyway, let's begin. I'm going to tell you my crazy dating story, and I'd love to hear about your guys'. So anyway, it started back 2 years ago. This is when I was on Rumble before I actually became a YouTuber. I just started cooking at the time too. Just started getting into cooking. Hello, how are you? Uh, so anyway, so I went to the dentist one time, and wow, crazy stories, right? So I went to the dentist one time, and this was close to where my sister lived, and well, my family lives all close, pretty much by me. And then my sister ended up working at this dentist office, but it wasn't that great of a dentist office. The pay sucked and everything. She didn't last there for more than a few months, but I went there, to get all my wisdom tooth taken out. But I really wish I would have taken all my wisdom tooth out of all once, because all my wisdom tooth ended up getting infected, and they suck. That sucks. Oh, thank you. Anyway, so, but I was getting my last wisdom tooth removed, and it was so infected, it was rotting away. But anyway, there was a girl there. She was really nice, and she was wearing scrubs. I couldn't really see her. It was during COVID, and she was wearing a mask, so I couldn't really see all of her. But anyway, she was really nice and very friendly. And the next day when I went to church, I asked my sister about her. My sister really didn't have. She didn't really talk about her. I mean, she didn't really have say portray in a positive light. Didn't know how to talk about her in a positive way. I guess in some sense that like basically my sister made it clear she was a little bit eccentric. You know what I mean? So I was like, well, she seemed really nice, so I wanted to give her a chance. So I saw her on Facebook a few days later, and I added her, but I was gonna message her, but she messaged me. Then anyway, we started talking, we hit it off, we had a little bit in common. So anyway, that weekend we went on a date, and I think we ended up flipping a coin where we wanted to go, because I just can't remember for the life of me. Oh no, we actually did have a place planned, but the place I wanted to go to closed down, so we ended up going to IHOP. So when we get to IHOP, we get to IHOP, she gets out of the car, and she was wearing a dress that was not very attractive towards me. And, I just don't think she looked good in black. It was a long black dress. And, sure enough, she ended up tripping over this long black dress. And she fell flat. She face planted and everything, and I felt so bad for her. And she's like, she was more embarrassed than anything. But she got up. We got into the side of the restaurant, and then she started feeling something dripping from her leg, and she lifted up her leg, and I saw it, and she's like, "Oh my gosh!" There was a big gash in her leg. It needed stitches. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And she was about to cry. I was like, "Oh my gosh! I need to take you to the hospital or emergency room or whatever." It was so crazy. That was the first time I've ever seen somebody do that, falling and tripping over themselves and cutting themselves so badly that they need to go to the hospital. You know what I mean? My name ain't Bethany. My name is Mr. Philly. But anyway, so we were gonna go to the hospital at first, but she said, my aunt lives close by, and they think she's a nurse. You want to stop by her house and see if we need stitches? So we went there once. She wasn't home, and then we went to another place that she was at, and she said, "Yeah, oh my gosh, Amanda, that needs stitches." So yeah. And it was a pretty big gash right below her kneecap and everything. Yeah, it was pretty gnarly looking. So I took her to the emergency room, and that was that. And yeah, that was probably one of the craziest dating stories. I didn't even get to go eat with this person. She ended up getting 13 stitches. I talked to her. After that, she came to my house and we cooked dinner. We had a better night. But I ended up, needless to, I mean, this is another story. But she was a little eccentric person. That relationship didn't go very far. But I will say, that was probably one of the craziest dating stories that I've ever had. Somebody face planting in front of me and then cutting themselves so badly that they have to go to the hospital. And she said, I talked to my sister. She works in the medical field too. Like, I hit my knee so hard, just right, that it cut it so bad on a jagged rock or whatever on the asphalt or whatever. So yeah, crazy, huh? Very, very crazy. So yeah. Oh man, if you guys want to watch this, go back and watch my live. So yeah, very interesting, very interesting. If you so anybody have any other crazy dating stories, first dates, any crazy exes or things like that? I'd love to hear about it. I was just thinking about this the other day. That probably was my craziest. I think I hear more embarrassing stories about guys that leave forget their wallets and everything, but thankfully I never did that. Haven't done that yet, but it happens, shit happens, but like yeah, I think that was crazy. You know what I mean? I don't know what you mean by that. Am I right? I don't do politics. I cook food. That's all I do. Oh dear. Oh yeah, that is crazy. Well, I hope that person ain't your ex anymore. Her ain't your. So I hope you found that pretty early. Otherwise, you would have been a fourth victim or whatever. Not victim, but fourth pregnancy. Finn. Very interesting. I love Kanye West. Yes, I think his music is amazing. Actually. Huh? Well, it's a pretty interesting crowd tonight, so yeah, I appreciate it. I'm finally seeing somebody else that has a similar name to me, Mr. Philly something. But yeah, I thought I was the only one. Oh my goodness, that was one of the most wonderful thing about Tigers is the only one. But now I actually finally, because I can't find, there's like two other people that actually do have a Philly name, but like they do Philly nostalgia. So yeah, I thought I was original. I guess you guys are copying off me now. You copycats, I'll dare you. But it's all good. I'm just kidding. Oh dear. Right. You know, I can imagine. I mean, I started late. I was raised Catholic and everything, so I was raised pretty traditional. I don't think my first date was till I was like 19, actually. And yeah, I didn't really start dating till I was 20. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Hello. How are you? Started dating in the middle, yeah. I didn't start dating till I was like 19, yeah. I started dating late, so yeah. Well, anybody want to share any crazy stories, crazy exes, or anything like that? I'd love to hear about it. I was just thinking about this all day, and I was like, well, this would be a fun topic to talk about. People talk about, bad experiences in relationships, bad experiences in dating. We all have them. We all make mistakes. We all, come across a weirdo or a psycho or somebody that just a really crazy time and experience in a date. It does happen. Yeesh. Well, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. Well, sometimes we all make mistakes. We all get into bad relationships. Well, not even necessarily bad relationships. This is more about like craziest dating story, a dating story. And sometimes people have crazy dating stories and they end up marrying that person, they might end up well, they might end up a happy ending. I was just watching so many videos of, like what would you do on other shows about like people forgetting their wallets and having bad dating experiences. It's just funny. Just made me think of mine. So yeah. Well, that's a good question, Sarah. I think that's might be a question for another time. It might be a little divided answer though, but I have to think that through though. Very good question. I do like that. Yes, tired. I'm always tired, of course. Yes, I know a little bit of geography. I mean, I'm not perfect, but yes, I know where Siri is. I did take basic geography. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Silly. Of course I know where that is. Goodbye. Well, I have more followers than you, that's for sure. Well, how dare they? Really? I mean, like, how did that happen? Did they, did they message you or what? I mean, like, I didn't see that. I don't know if I saw. I normally would see the person on there, but yeah. Or see the name of the YouTuber, I don't know. But you said that already. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of those on YouTube. You gotta be careful. I see them all the time. All the time. Well, Mr. Philly, my day is actually okay. Where did you come up with that name? I only know two other people that have that name, so pretty interesting. Kind of cool. It's good. I mean, like, I had a good day. I mean, like, it was a normal work day. Nothing really bad happened. So, I mean, like, yeah, I think we did all right. And, I got home, I ate some good dinner, and, it was good. It was a good time. Okay, you know what? You live in Philadelphia? Well, hey, congratulations. I finally meet a twin. I'm from Philadelphia. I don't live there, but I am from there. And I just visited there and I visit all the time. So that's so cool. So do you do Philadelphia nostalgia or do you cook or what? I cook and, I travel and, travel to Philly. I mean, Philadelphia has a lot of influence on me because I love my salsa water and I love my Wawa, and my hoagies. Accent. I'm born and bred, basically. You know what I mean? So that's what my channel is mostly about. So keep those things in mind. You must be new. I have not seen you before. Or did you just change your name to after me? Come on. Don't tell me you changed your name after me. Your picture looks familiar. All right, Brady, I'm not going to lie. I mean, like, Go Birds, of course. Yeah. If you want to be a Bible thumper, why don't you start your own channel, okay? I mean, like, I'm really getting to a point where it's like I'm about to block people who just continuously quote Bible quotes because, like, it's just really irrelevant. And if I'm not talking about something religious type, then, or if I'm not on that topic, then it's just really irrelevant. It's just like you're looking for attention. That's cool. I figured that. Here we go. Oh, stop being a copycat from Philadelphia. So I don't even know if you really are from Philadelphia. Well, well. Well, thank you. I do have an accent. What? Yes. Screw you, I got more subscribers than you. Weirdo. Hi Tim, Timothy? How are you? How you doing tonight? You having a good night? You having a good night? That's great. I'm great. Thank you for asking. I don't just give my number out to anybody. You'd win what? What are you talking about? Well, it's been an interesting crowd, but I mean, like nobody's really gotten into or telling me about, any crazy exes or crazy ex stories or crazy dating stories. Thought we could stick to the topic. Well, it's nice actually, dude. I think this actually does, people do look at the question and they do, can keep it at a topic. So, otherwise everything's all over the place and it's hard to stick to one subject, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Okay, well, really? Wow, that's more than me. That's amazing. I'll have to check out your channel, dude. Wow, it's cool. It's so cool. American peoples. I'm a people. I'm a peoples. Peoples. Okay, that's what I say. I don't know. Hey. I mean, there are YouTubers that do have my number that I'm friends with, actually, but people that I know and that have emailed me and that I've actually had long discussions with. But you have to earn that. I have an email for that reason. And people have gotten personal with me. And, I've gone on live, and that's one of the reasons why I love being a YouTuber now. I've gone on lives with other YouTubers, and, I'm friends with some on Instagram, and we actually talk on the phone all the time. So it's pretty cool. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's one of the reasons why now I fell in love with a YouTuber. I'm not American. I know you're not. You're British, aren't you? You're English. You're an English. You're British. You're a British lass, right? Lass, lad, whatever, right? 911, really? I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? Just the camera. No, I'm good. Next world. I don't know. I'm friends with people from other countries. A few. You know what I mean? Why not? I don't do politics. I cook food. We don't do that here. You got something against me sitting in my car, Timothy? Why can't I sit in my car? Oh. Oh. Right. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, Finn. Well, don't be so. Don't have to be so harsh. um. Hey, not too bad. How are you? There was another guy that I became friends with at first, but every time he came on my channel, it just told me what to do and just pointed out errors in my channel, and I just thought it was really annoying. And then I just told him, look, dude, I think we're done. I don't think I want to be friends with you anymore. But then he apologized. Then I went live with him, and then we became friends. Actually, there's some good people. Sometimes I'm rash judging on some people. Okay, good. I hope you guys can hear me. So yeah. Sorry, I had to mute it for a second. I apologize. I don't watch sports. I'm sorry, dude. I do not watch baseball. Of course we're friends. Yes. And I just cut somebody out of my life the other day. That was friends with me. I cut Esther out of my life. I just didn't really trust her anymore. I think I was friends with her on Instagram for like several months, and I just think she wasn't the person said she was. So I'm 99% sure all her photos were for AI and everything. So man, I think she was a real person and everything, but like I don't know. Yeah, well, it is. No, I was just somebody that I was friends with for a long time on YouTube and on here, and I just finally cut him out of my life because I just didn't really trust them anymore. I mean, I feel like, I don't think you should, I think you should be honest with somebody, and I just don't think they were being honest with me at some point, and there were some, aspects that kind of that made it more and more clear they weren't. You want to tell me your worst dating story? Sure, I'd love to hear about it. So, yeah. You gotta do what you gotta do, I mean, if somebody's gonna be like friends with me outside of YouTube, and then like give me their number and be their Instagram and everything, I would love them to be honest with me. I don't want to base a friendship off a lie. I mean, I don't want to be friends with somebody they're not who they say they are. And I just felt like it was pretty obvious at that point they weren't. So I don't know. Oh well, it is what it is. She just wanted me anyway. All she did was flirt with me. She didn't watch my channel because she liked my cooking. She just watched me because she just liked what. You having a good night? Yeah. I think you're right. I don't think she was real. I just don't think she really was who she says she was, though. That's all. It was just really weird. It was just getting weird. It was just getting to that point. It was just getting to that point. Goodbye. Yeah. I mean, you asked me that already. I already said yes. Of course, I remember you. I remember your name. Yeah, you were out here late the other night. Hey, I'm just listening to crazy dating stories. Well, I mean, how about recently, Finn? You have any crazy dating stories? After you turned 18 or anything? Somebody had a twin brother or something like that, or somebody wasn't who they say they were, or somebody was just really, what are you, catfishing you or whatever, I've been not like catfish in person, but like, and I know stories about people who met somebody that met them online, and then they met them in person. They were a totally different person than what their picture showed. I was like, oh God, that's creepy. I was like, that would be so awkward though. I can imagine. Yeah, I guess my craziest dating story was like somebody got really hurt really bad that I had to take him to the emergency room before we even go eat. But yeah, it's definitely fun worthy to talk about. It's interesting. It just builds character. You know what I mean? I mean, it's actually kind of more of a sadder story, but she was all right. It was just kind of like a freak accident kind of a thing. First time in my life I ever dealt with a freak accident. I guess that kind of a thing. Uh, we're friends. I mean, like. Don't get weird on me, though. That's all I can say. Really? Hmm. I have a dark past. I know. She was, but... I mean, she was trustworthy in that way, but, like, I don't know. Yeah, well... I don't know. Hold on a second, guys. I'm having issues. Give me a minute. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. My brother was train. My well, it sounded like a train, really. No, my brother was driving the this big mower by, and it sounded really loud, so I didn't want you to guys catch on it. You know. Mhm. Oh, really? Okay. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, I heard that something like that before. Okay, I wouldn't be to tell you. I don't have any. Yeesh. Yeesh. Okay, that is dark. I don't know how true it is, but yeah. All right, B. What? Oh, friendships come and go. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but I have so many more years left on YouTube. I mean, I'm gonna meet some more great friends actually that actually do want to, actually want to, portray, be truthful with me and be honest with me. I still have other friends on YouTube that I go live with and everything. So yeah, I mean, there's some really great people that I met on here. I mean, when somebody tells me, they're willing to, go live with me several times, but every time I do, they just make that excuse and they just don't do it. And, I never really see a real picture of them. And then they continuously ask me to go live with them, but they won't show their picture. And every picture they show me is an AI video. Then it's like weird. Oh, that's up to you, yo. Hey, I know a lot of people post pictures of their pets. Hey, that's completely up to you. You do you, Finn. Hey, if you want to be a YouTuber, are you trying to be a YouTuber or what? I mean, unless you want to post pictures, hey, you do you. YouTube is a social network, so yeah. I mean, if you want to share fun pictures, and YouTube started out as more of a social network, I think more like Facebook and everything. You used to be able to directly message people on here. I didn't know that. Now they just brought that back, but you can't really directly message people on here because there's so many people of different age groups. You actually have to have them send your link on, WhatsApp or Facebook, and then you'll be able to actually, if you do that, then you actually can, directly Facebook, text them on YouTube after if they respond to the link. Yeah, sure. I mean, that's up to you, but yeah. Well, I mean, like, hey, I mean, like I was just saying, you can send people links on Facebook, you can send people links on WhatsApp or anything too. And that way, after you send them a link, then if they respond to the link, then you can actually text them directly on YouTube too. Yeah, they just brought that back, but they won't. You can't do it directly here. You used to be able to do that, but there's just so many scammers on here and a lot of weirdos on here. So yeah, and I can see why they do that. So yeah, got to be careful. Oh. Well, I was just saying, I thought you wanted to do that because of your own personal reason. I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I'm not dictating what you do with your own YouTube. Mr. Phil. Thank you. There you go. And it's doable. I probably could have had 1,000 subscribers in a year, but, when I first started, I only made one live a week. Now I do 2 or 3 videos a week, at least I try. If I could go live every day, I'd be happy, but I'm not able to do that every day. I am trying to get monetized within a year, so yeah, I mean, well, not a year and a half. So from December, starting December, because I have 500 watch hours, so I have 2,500 at watch hours that need to do less. So I think that is a reachable goal. So year and a half, hopefully we get monetized. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. It's gonna be great. Oh, okay. I mean, that's the start of every relationship. People ask people out, I guess. I mean, did anything happen in between? I guess. If that's what you're referring to or what. That's cool. I don't know. Cool. Wow. I'll make a good one, I guess, if you make one. Sure, you do you. That's great. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go out with somebody that wasn't nice to me. You know? Oh, it wasn't nice to you. Oh, that's, well, there you go. I think that's probably would have lasted for one date. I've dated people like that after one date. They weren't very nice to me, but yeah. I said, yeah, I don't think this is going to work out. Have a good life. Goodbye. Adios. You know what I mean? All right, guys. Well, this was, you know, I mean, there's a lot of trolls, you know. Finn, always a pleasure. You know, nice to see you again. And thanks all for the good people showing up. You know, I appreciate all the nice comments, and, you know, I appreciate all the trolls giving me some watch time, you know. Thank you. You know, I wish people would have more engaged in the story. I'm sure quite a few you have some fun dating stories to talk about, but yeah. But yeah, I gotta get going, so, yeesh. Not really sure if I follow the story, but, you know, well, hey, you know, it's just fun. You know, it's just enjoyable, something to laugh at, kick back, have a beer with, you know, talk about, you know, crazy dating stories with somebody who ended up your wife or somebody who ended up like a psychopath and you're not with anymore. It's fun to talk about. You look back and laugh, you know, lighthearted subjects are always fun, you know. It was fun to crack a laugh with, you know, crack a beer with. Oh, thank you very much. I try. Well, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna end the live. You know, I'm gonna get going. So gotta work tomorrow. So unfortunately, so I will catch you guys later. And as always, happy cooking and have a great night. Thanks everybody for joining, and thanks all for the great conversations. Bye, guys.